Good morning, everybody. Good to see you here. Look at my cool new hat. A little Photoshop action. Looks like it's getting keyed up. Maybe not. But yeah, I got this fun Photoshop warm hat from the Photoshop team, so that's so nice of them. I'm not going to wear it, though. I'm not really a hat guy. But anyways, so thankful you're here. We're going to dive into today's Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. It's all about colorizing. You may think it's simple, but this is going to get pretty awesome pretty quickly. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining me, Sam and Steve and Robert and Frank and Fury and Anne and people out there who are not in chat. Feel free to say hello. Let's dive into this. It's all about growing your Photoshop skills like a little plant. It's like a little flower we must nurture and grow. If you're joining me elsewhere, also hello. Good to have you here and say something in chat as well, because I'm on other platforms. All right, let's dive into this. First off, this is day 3, so let's click over. You can see right here, day 3, this is all about, again, colorizing. There's an easy button that I'm going to show you, and then there's a way to kind of refine it some more. For Florence, I see you out there from Switzerland. Feel free to head over to behance.net/Adobe Live. Because that's the chat I'm going to keep an eye on. Let's colorize. The photo you get is awesome, by the way. So you can obviously right over here, get started. Bam, right? Also, I'm watching Discord as well, so that this file is posted there as well. But here it is. This is the image that we will colorize. Did I revert? Hopefully I reverted back. Oh, let's revert. Hiding everything. There we are. So here is the file that you've been given, which is already like amazing as a black and white image, but we're going to have some fun with it. Oh, good morning, James from South Texas. How far south are we talking? Are we talking, is it, am I thinking of Monterey? That's just, I don't know. I think that's on the border. I could be wrong. Anyways, cool. Tom from Miami Beach. Everybody living in all these cool places. All right, so we're going to colorize this. So starting out, what you could do is we create a new layer, by the way. Bop. All right, here's our new layer, and on this new layer, we can have a bunch of colors. So I'm going to go to Window, and I'm just going to open up. I can open up a number of colors. Let's just open up swatches, since this is a new panel, this swatches panel. So I can come in here and pick any color that I want. So I'll just pick this, maybe this tone right here. I can kind of refine it a little bit more because it needs to be like a little bit more red. But I can pick my color, and then I can start painting with the brush. Hit B for brush. Right? Come in here, and you know, again, we want to paint. We can start painting. Right, like so. Of course, this is covering up those pixels, as we can see. Notice my flow is set to 14%, right? So my flow will slowly build up over time, right? So this is one way of colorizing a photo, picking a color, painting on that layer with a brush, and then changing the layer blend mode. So off to the side, we can see the different blend modes over here that we can kind of roll through. Dot, 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 dot. Right, so we have ones that are darker, right? Initially, the lighter, change the lighter tones, right? So we're tinting those lighter tones. And then we get into some ones that actually work. Overlay, soft light, some of these tones might work a little bit better. So this is kind of where you end up, right? As we scroll down, saturation, here is color as well, and then luminosity. So, you could either go with overlay, soft light, or you can go with color, right? It's totally up to you. Welcome, Susan. I did just start, so welcome. Again, this is how we can paint. We'll just leave this as at color, right? So we could start with this color like so. We could change this to, you know, white, right? If I paint with white, what's going to happen? It just kind of removes the color there, right? This is just, again, just the basics, guys. Don't freak out. It's okay. Right, let's go with more of a red for the lips. Let's throw some red on the lips like that. That's what you get. You could do things on different layers. That's going to give you more control. Okay, going up here to the flowers, by the way. Let's do this. Let's have some fun with this, guys. You ready? I feel like this is all pretty easy, and I could do this like all day long. And maybe I'll just kind of paint in a little bit more of this. The problem with colorizing a photo is all the skin isn't the same color. So the best thing to do is like reference a photo. Okay, so reference any photo you want. On day one, we had these photos that I gave you. Let's just do a quick levels, hit auto. Let's brighten me up. Bump. There, right? So you can see on my face, there's a number of different tones. There's reds. There's just a number of tones. So let's move that off to the side like so. And again, I could actually use this and sample from it, right? And paint like so. So have a varied palette is kind of what I'm saying, and you'll do much better. All right. Let's now get into, we'll do one version like so. I want to get into some cool stuff, guys. Let's just paint really fast, right? Right in here, look, I'm actually painting outside of the lines. She's like, geez, Paul, you're not very good at this, are you? Yeah, right? Well, yeah, some days I'm not very good at this. But I also know where I can mess up too, right? So I'm just kind of painting. Again, we have a color for the layer blend mode, and we're painting on that layer, okay? All right, so the reason, boom, I'm not worried too much about the lines is because we're going to go ahead and remove her. We're going to extract her from the background, right? So this is something I showed yesterday. So if you're following along, check this out. We'll go over here to this layer, this model layer, selecting it. What do I want to do? I want to remove the background. Notice it's actually, we're going to see what it does to her hair, by the way. But let's just try it. Let's click remove background. No hands mode. Did a great job. I could always go in and paint with white to get some of this hair right here, by the way. But it did an excellent job, I'd say. Right? So now I can have this, and rather than this color going off of her body, I can turn this into a clipping mask. Okay? Okay, you got it. All right. Just check and see if there are questions. Let me know. Kelly, awesome. Good to have you. Naveed, Gary, awesome. So right in here, we can see create clipping mask. So now, boom. I would say the two biggest things that you need to learn how to do is create layer masks and clipping masks, right? So an independent layer, and it's only revealing what's on this layer because it's being clipped. It's only revealing what's on this layer because it's being clipped, because it's a clipping mask, right? So basically, I didn't have to worry about painting in the lines. We could move this around. You can kind of see what happens there. You guys get the idea. Some of you guys are really good. I like something for the pros in here as well. Let me actually go in. Let's grab a gradient. Why not? Let's pick a gradient in here of sorts, like that maybe. Right, so this is what we have so far. All right, cool. It's a nice gradient in the background, because if you know me, I'm going to pick a gradient of some sort. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on. All right. Ooh, great, Fury, thank you. How to colorize a photo with a gradient map. Ooh, you're so fancy, I love it. Let's do that really fast, and then we're gonna get into the new, wow, the one-click magic feature. Okay, so I know this is day 3. I said, hey, if you understand layer masks and clipping masks, that's huge. Another really huge thing is adjustment layers. So rather than just painting on a layer, what if we want to play with some colors, right? Well, let's pull this panel out, and let's go into our adjustment layers right down here at the bottom. Adjustment layers. Okay, so these I can add, and it's going to, and kind of how it goes is this will change, add solid color gradients. This will work on sort of the brightness and contrast. These are going to actually change the color, and these get a little bit more creative if you ask me. Okay, but what these do is I can go into like hue and saturation, clicking on that. Here's my hue and saturation. What happens? Well, it opens up this panel off to the side. And now I can change the hue and saturation. You're like, oh, you're changing the hue and saturation like with that color that's there already. Okay. I could also hit colorize. Boom. And now we've colorized this photo as well. And guess what? I can clip that to just be her, right? So that's how these adjustment layers work. I'm gonna throw away that. Again, this is good stuff. And this is probably the one daily creative challenge. If you like understand everything I talk about here, then you're well on your way to being an expert. We're gonna go right down here because this is why this is live. I like going with questions you ask. Gradient map. So we're saying, hey, we have this black and white photo. Let's map the darks to this color and the lights to this color. So gradient map, clicking right there. We can see it already changed it to something ridiculous. Yours might be black and white, but here in the properties panel, this is where we can adjust that gradient. So we'll click through, boom, boom, boom. We'll get something kind of interesting in here. Typically what you want is the upper right corner is going to be the dark color. The upper left, the lower right is going to be the highlight color. So if I pick this one, it's going to be an invert. Not to worry, because I could always reverse that as well. So if I like those and I want to reverse them, I can click that reverse button. Okay, so that's how that works. Scrolling down, you have photographic toning, right? And let's just get rid of this reverse. But in photographic toning, this is where you're going to get, again, just some more colors to kind of tint a photo like so. Cool. You guys got it. Ooh, how did you do that gradient on the animals which you posted on Instagram yesterday? Sarah, thank you. You guys are so good. Guess what? I did it this exact same way. It's like literally painting on layers that are clipping masks. So if you guys don't mind, and it will be a good recap from yesterday, I'll just kind of open that up really fast and you can actually see this. Not that one. There we go. Oh, that's not it. Oh no, why is that just the JPEG, guys? I hope I didn't accidentally like flatten it. Whew. Close one. So colorizing goes in sync also with what we did yesterday. We could see this piece. How is this done? Well, let's go to the any one of these animals, but let's take a look at this wolf right here. I just painted, as you can see in this layer, with purple and then teal, right? I just painted on top of it, right? And I changed the layer blend mode to overlay. So there it is originally, and then I just changed this to overlay and painted accordingly. So if I decide I want to have more blue, you guys get the idea. Hopefully that answers your question. Right, let's do this. Let's throw a little splash of blue in here, right? So there's my splash of blue, right? Painting on that layer. A gradient fill and a gradient map. What's the difference? Great question. A gradient fill is just going to give you that gradient that covers the whole image, right? A gradient map maps those colors. So you're going to have your lighter colors are going to be more of this warm tone, because right over here, if we look at our gradients, the lighter colors is this warm tone. So it maps it according to the lights and darks. If I did just a gradient, it literally just throws that gradient over the entire image. I will still do this, by the way, but I'll just change the blend mode, right? And get something like that. This makes it look very mysterious and all that good stuff. Okay, cool. All right, we having fun yet? Great question. Gradient map, by the way, open up your gradients, because you're also noticing that I have this photographic toning. This is key as well when you're using gradient maps. We'll go to this flyout menu, and you want to load legacy gradients. So there's a lot more gradients in there than you realize. So go ahead and take a look at that. Load in those legacy gradients. There they are, and photographic toning should pop up in there as well. All right, cool. All right, we're doing well. We're doing some painting. Let's take this to the next level. Again, this is the most important, probably the most important daily creative challenge that I've covered. So, because I'm going to talk about one more concept. We worked on selections yesterday. We learned how to make these these layer masks. But now what I want to do is I'm going to convert this to a smart object. So I'm going to right click. There we are. Convert to smart object. One question, Lorianne. How do you do precision at the eyes for the look? For the eyes, you're going to have to zoom in and use a very small brush and paint with different colors and probably start stacking them. And for that, I would actually look at somebody else's bloodshot eyes. So take cues from somebody else's eyes, and those are you could even sample these colors and apply it accordingly. Okay. All right. So right in here, we've converted this to a smart object. It's technically a separate file. I can double click on that. There it is, this separate file called model. Right. The reason I do that, how do you quickly invert a layer mask? Command I. And I'm going to go to, with this black and white photo, I'm going to go to filter and I'm going to go to neural filters right up here at the top. So this is brand new in Photoshop as of a month ago. Okay. So we did all that painting to colorize a photo. Let's go into neural filters, right? So we use Adobe Sensei technology to do this magic, a lot of machine learning. But right in here, we have skin smoothing, style transfer. Click on these beta filters. These are the current ones we have. You might need to download them because this smart portrait, I need to actually download. But right in here, here's Colorize. That's exactly what we want to do. Colorize a photo. Let's just see what it does. Clicking right there, it'll go through and it colorizes that photo. So that's one click and it actually did the colorization. Yes, cool. So that's what it does. Yes, you can use to refine the hair. You could use the Refine Edge tool in the masks menu, basically. Because I probably need to clean it up a little bit. Okay, so this is what it did. It colorized it, right? She's looking maybe a little bronzy. Maybe I want her less red or bronzy. I could take that down, right? And we're just changing. You can see it's just changing her skin tone. It's all pretty straightforward. Now, it gets kind of interesting, and I don't think this has the level of control that I'd like it to have. But right in here, we can pick a new color. We'll pick red, just to show you how this works. And then we can say, hey, you know what? For these flowers, make those flowers red. So right up here, click, right? You're going to get varying levels of... let's take a look at it. You can see what it did. It just made the flowers and her whole head red. So that's what this spot color does. I can target her her top, for instance, or her dress, and it's going to kind of try to change that to red. But that's what this little dots does, right? You can see how it kind of locks on certain areas and tints it accordingly. Okay, you could always hit minus because I think it's like, it does okay work. But that's what I did. Clicked OK. That's why I made that a smart object, because right in here, twirling that down, we can see there's that neural filter. So again, we have our before, we have our after. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, Adobe Sensei is something that we could use that's in our back pocket that clients don't need to know about. You know, it's not the action. You don't get paid for pressing a button. You get paid for knowing which buttons to press. Okay, so you know about it now, and you could use that. Okay, cool. Neural filters. We can kind of turn on these other filters like that. Let's have some more fun with this, shall we? Again, I would probably add a new layer with a new clipping mask, and then I would change that color to brown. Right? And then I would start painting her hair, by the way, just to get that all squared away, right? You know, again, just painting with brown. changing the blend mode, right? Multiply actually looks good because it's actually making her hair a little bit darker. Okay, just like that. Let's paint some flowers in. Again, let's just go yellow. Why not? Okay, there we are, right in here. And we can start painting accordingly. Again, this is the flow is set to something pretty low. And again, right in here, you can kind of cycle through all the colors, but we could see color right down there is what I have that set to. So that's what I'd try. Let's actually crank this up. This one is going to be, I don't know, maybe yellow, maybe red, right? And that's why I have this swatches panel off to the side. Might be easier to select the colors right in here. But there's a red flower. Let's make this one red. It's a little intense. You guys get the idea. Take it down a touch. Let's throw some green in there. And let's make this... Oops. So intense. I would probably do this on different layers because it'd give me a little bit more control. But there's some green we'll throw in. And you get the idea. Cool. Everybody's got it. Have fun with it. Let's throw some more up there. Bam, bam. Maybe make this one darker. Even darker. Like that. There we go. You guys get the idea. I don't know what other colors we should have. Maybe we'll go with, oh, that's so bright. So bright. What I typically do in this case is I would take down the opacity and that would change it accordingly. Cool. All right, everyone. Let's have some fun with this now. I have less than 5 minutes. Let's do another neural filter for you pros out there. You're like, I want to take things to the next level. Yeah, you can. Let's just go into neural filters again. For her, rather than doing a colorize, let's turn that off. Let's go back to this first one. Hey, we want to add some crazy colors. Let's do a style transfer. So right in here, we'll select style transfer. We'll take a look at a number of these. We'll go to tattoo, which I think is actually pretty cool. But here it's actually applying that style and then it's applying it to, obviously, to the photo that I'm working on. Right there, done. Click OK. Right? Cool. Has a whole new look, right? We can have some fun with this, and let's make sure these are clipped, by the way. Sometimes when you move around layers, the clipping gets unclipped, right? But right in here, now we can go ahead and add a layer mask, hit B for brush, or whatever you want to do. Let's make this extra hard right in here, and we can do like a fun stripe, sort of like, I don't know, like kind of comes in here. Let's just try this. Let's just do a swoosh. Oh, yeah. Oops. Sorry. Oops. Yeah, that's what I want. Let's invert this. Invert. And now I can paint in white and apply that color over the top of her. So maybe what I want to do is have it actually kind of wrap around. I'd have it kind of wrap around her neck. It goes down. It hits right here. It bumps up to here. Goes down. And then we have this cool, like, strip of color going through like so, right? Again, just kind of playing with this. Can you adjust how much of the style you want to apply? The only way to adjust is kind of like after the fact, like I'm doing. So I would just adjust the opacity or whatever in this case to make it look good. Let's get rid of this one. Let's actually switch over to my final that I have right over here. Here's again just a different version, just so you can see a comparison of these two. Here's one, which is the pretty much straightforward colorization of a photo. I'd probably do her dress before long, and then you have this really freaky one, right, with style transfer. I could start to turn off some of these, and you can kind of get the idea of what that looks like. And you can see the original is back there. So let's turn on some of these now, right? Again, just something fun to play with. Bring it out as layers, not smart filter. Okay. You could create a path for that. You could draw a path and do that very same thing. So yeah, so these are the two I have. I'll probably work on this one a little bit more and post it. And then here's just the fun one, right? And I could always do a combination of the two. Let's drag these two layers over. Wait for it. They're big files. And you'll see it in a second. Yeah, this is never enough time. Ooh, those are different sized files. So scratch that. I never have enough time. But that's what I always say when I'm spending time with you guys. Time flies so fast, it's unfair. Glad you like it. Join me tomorrow. We have more fun things going on. And Michelle, I appreciate Mia and everyone. Have a fantastic day. I will leave you with the schedule as I sign off. But also don't forget to post to Discord and the amazing work that's been done. Look at this. Sean K. beat me to it. This is excellent. Look at the care that went into selecting those flowers. It's done so well. So keep up the great work. I appreciate you guys, all of you. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much. And stay tuned. It looks like we have... Oh, Anna McNaught's up next. Yay, Jason Levine. Awesome. I'm going to watch that stream. Thanks, everybody.